Hey everyone, it's Makito here. I'm doing my last self-review of the day. It seems like I've done 4 of these today. So yeah, I played a lot of Go. I would have played even more if I didn't have some responsibilities to do. Even with my day off, I have to do stuff, huh? So I'm gonna start off on Well Theory's Go pattern search to see how far we play. How many moves did we play before we stopped playing like professionals? I was playing white in this game versus 4Q. So this was the game. Black approached, which is like the #1 move that all pros play, so this is pretty good. I also played the #1 move that all pros play, and this is where he deviated. So this is like the second, I guess, best move. And then I'm pretty sure this is the avalanche, and I don't really know enough about its sequences. Like, I actually have an idea because I've studied it before, but it was a long time ago, and I definitely don't have it mastered. So I told myself I'll just play very, very chicken and cowardly. But it makes me actually feel good that at least it's the #2 move next to #1 over here. So pros still play it today, which, well, maybe not today actually. If you look at the dates, 1998, 80s, early 2000s. So this isn't really played in, I guess, recent years, but Chochi-kun played it, so anyway, we'll move on. So black was supposed to play here. This is the only move. It's not the #1 move, it's the only move on the board. But this is where the game deviated, where my opponent didn't play this way. So we'll go to the actual game now and take a look. So I'll just go over it shortly, because obviously the board was like flipped a little bit, but it was the same sequence really. So he played here. Once again, the pros, the only move is this one, but we'll go back to the game itself. I felt like that move was really important, so I wanted to turn there. Hit the head of 2 stones, or the ass of 2 stones actually. That's what Seth called it. Because I'm hitting this side and this side, so I'm hitting the head and the ass. But anyway, we'll move on. Sure, this move's fine, whatever. This is the correct approach move, I believe, because you don't want to approach in his pincer, right? You want to approach outside of his pincer. So this was fun. I like this opening a lot. This is called the Lee Chang-ho opening, and I'm pretty sure Lee Chang-ho is Chinese. I could be wrong, but I know he's famous. I hear his name all the time, and you know, he has an opening named after himself, similar to Kobayashi. So you know, he's a pretty good player, and so this was his famous opening. But since this player didn't know how to play it, he ended up playing this, which is actually pretty bad at this moment. I'll show you why. He has to answer this way, and technically now I get to play this move. So this move like conceals him almost in the corner entirely, which it did. So now this is all he got. And I got this big wall facing the outside, so it's kind of white got the more worthy outside. Now I don't believe this is in the materials I studied on this Fuseki, or this Joseki, whichever you want to call it. But black is supposed to play here, so since he didn't, I feel it's way too good for white. I feel like it destroys these 4 moves, what they're trying to do. So instead of and to end the Joseki, by the way, I should have approached this way. You can see that this approach is helping these stones a lot to try and build here. But we're actually going to go over the Fuseki since I know it, so that you can see what's up. You can see what's going on. So in the real game, this is the next move. And you can see already black's building something humongous, right? So like this is a really spot on move. Where does white play next, actually? No, this isn't it. Okay, yeah, so white just approaches here, just like in the last one. And if black blocks off, you can do something like this. This stone is a throwaway stone here. No matter what sequence plays out, this stone is a throwaway stone. And you can see that once black plays here, if he played down like this is even worse, because now white's completely like sealed. And you can see how he got all these points. So black's supposed to play this way, and then it's gote for white instead of sente like last time, but still, this is like really nice. But at the same time, black got a lot of these points, and he got another corner as well. So supposedly it's even. I don't know specifically on this board, but if like only this was played and this was played, this would be an even result. And the time to play the Li Chang Ho is usually when you have a stone here. And it's usually the low stone, because you can see this is a nice high-low relationship. But this is becoming more of a lecture than a self-review, huh? Okay, so in the game I played this way. And it led to this result, right? And then I showed you this way, which is the correct way of how this is supposed to be played, and this is supposed to be played. This was definitely supposed to be played. But anyway, we'll go on to this one. So this is the other variation of the Fuseki. So instead of connecting here, white plays this. Black immediately cuts. White pushes. Black pushes. White has to go one more time. Black comes back to take this stone, and now you can see how big and large his wall is facing this side of the board. That's why usually a stone here and like a formation here is really good. And if black played like a professional in the opening, he would have a black stone here. So you could see how like those are two nice huge walls facing each other. But okay, to finish it off, white plays this, and then black plays this move. So you might be asking, why doesn't black play this instead of this? Well, this is Fuseki because it really seals off this part of the board, right? And you can still get the corner points in like one move if white doesn't respond. But if black plays this way, this is too much area. So white gets to play this. Black gets the cover. White does this. Black will prevent, and then white can play here. And now he has more than enough space to actually either run out or live. So that's really, really bad shape. That's the B bomber, I think it's called. You know, the airplane or the jet. I don't know, but it's bad shape. It's really, really bad. The F2 bomber, maybe something like that. That sounds familiar to me. But both of these variations wasn't the game. I just wanted to show you these Fusekis, considering that I knew them, and the black player didn't play either of them, which means this was not ideal, considering he didn't get what he was supposed to, right? He lost like a lot. Okay. So when black makes a wing here, I actually didn't Fuseki based on this wing. I've done part 1 and 2. I need to do like 3 and 4 and I think 5, and then that'll be a complete set on this. But this wing formation, I hope you guys have recognized it, or if you've seen it in one of my videos. If not, go check it out, because knowing this formation allowed me to really kick his butt. So this was odd. I wasn't expecting this move at all. So at this point, I thought about playing A, but A looks like it's over concentrated, and black can just come under at any time, and now these points are like nothing, right? So I think A is a bad move. Looking at the game now, without being on the clock and like actually physically playing, I feel like B or C is a pretty good move. specifically C, because I feel like it pressures this group a little bit, and then obviously it's building a wall between these. So like, let's say if black responded, now all white would have to do is this, and now this is like almost, I wouldn't say almost guaranteed, because black can still like try and come in and reduce or something, but it's looking a lot like white's points, which is really good. So anyway, so that's what I probably should have done, but I ended up doing this invasion right away because I knew this formation. Like I've done a video on this. I'm very confident. So white, you know, instead of just running, you know, with his tail between his legs towards his own stones, he has to poke at this this shape here. Then he can play again. Black Hanes and white Hanes. So in the game, black plays this. That is not the right move at all. In fact, because you can see that I get to pull back and then I get to clamp on him, and so now he can't play down here or he'll get killed. He's only got 3 liberties and I have 3 liberties, but I have better shape than him. Let's say if he attacked on the side here, I get this shape now. Now I've made myself an eye, and if he just pulls back, then he dies, right? And so he can't pull back. I mean, if he attacks this way, now I can take this, and he has to spend 2 moves to come in here, and even then it doesn't kill me, right? So anyway, point being is this clamp is beautiful. It like works very well, and the reason I got the clamp was because he didn't play here. Now if you watched my video, maybe he would have played there. But anyway, we'll move on. So in the game I got this. So I got this whole side here, and I thought this was a lot of points. It's a lot of points. He built influence, but white still can enter here. White can still poke up here. White still has up here. So I feel like this influence isn't going to help him that much. And for interest's sake, we'll go quickly over the Fuseki if he played it right. So if he played it correctly, white plays this Atari, makes himself an eye shape here, so now he's like guaranteed alive. Black's supposed to play this because it you can see that if black plays here, these 3 stones die and everything's dead. And so instead of white answering here and giving really, you know, becoming really bad shape, white plays this awesome shape move that I've been trying to teach my student. Like, this shape move comes up so many times and it's really good. I call it the half net. I'm sure it has a real name, but I don't know it, so I'm calling it the half net. And the reason this is good in this situation is because if black plays here, white now has sente. Black has to come back. If not, if white plays here, black dies, right? So, and now you can make life in either direction, right? So now you have 2 eyes. 2 eyes. Well, I guess technically you don't in this situation, but so let's cover that then. Let's see. Well, that's rough. Maybe it's because R6 is in a good place, but I still think you would have been fine at this situation. Because most players won't play here, right? Well, actually, what did I play here? Maybe now just stretch first. Then threaten these Ataris. And now you can play this. If he plays there, you play this. But anyway, we're getting really. This has become more of a lesson than a self-review. The self-reviews I've done before are like really short, so we'll move on. I think it's just because since in this game I've seen so many familiar formations that I've studied, I like wanted to really talk over to you guys. I've reinforced this stuff. I got it down. So I feel very confident in teaching it to you guys, and that I feel like it's right, because it definitely won me the game very easily. This was probably a mistake though, but I really didn't know what to do. Like, these stones are very far, so it's kind of hard to like attack it. Like if I was just to run out, he gets a really easy like, I'm out, you know, I'm out, snitches. And so I don't know. I felt like that would have been bad. So, and you can't really dive under. It's like he's in a really good position here. I don't feel like I could dive under and like come out okay. Maybe you can, but it sure didn't feel like it during the game time. Probably something like this. White settles kind of easy, but black still has this separation, so this isn't going to make a lot of points, and this is not going to make a lot of points. And black has a hefty corner and another hefty corner, but I still think white has this really good corner and then this pretty decent corner that still has places to go. So the game still feels very even, I think, at this point. And that's if I tried diving under, right? So I didn't want I didn't want to dive under, I didn't want to jump up. So I just thought maybe I should cap and see how this goes. So it kind of looks like he made a lot of points here, and then I got a wall facing black and black. So this probably wasn't the best result for me, and that's why I labeled it as not that good. I thought this move was really good though. I felt like because white has like a wall here that wants to like build, I feel like black should have played something like this. So now he's like building himself while like making sure white can only make so many points, right? You know, something like this where white just isn't making the points it should be for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like 12 stones, right? For only like this many points. That's crap. So that was his directional mistake. This was really good for me. This was a really bad shape. You're not supposed to poke at your enemy's weakness. If you poke at something and all of a sudden it becomes completely solid and unbreakable, then that's usually not good unless you were like gonna die. Unless this was completely surrounded and he was like 1 inch away from death, then I would play a move like this. But if you're not, then this is extremely bad. So it helped me out a lot. This is a formation that I've seen around. I definitely should know it, and I definitely don't, and it makes me feel bad. I gotta learn this, because once you played here, I didn't know what to do. I was like, oh crap, man. I was like, well, those are 2 free stones for him. So I think I spent yeah, if you look at the time, I had almost 22 minutes, and then after moving here I had like 18, so I spent like 4 minutes thinking about how I should fix this, and I couldn't come up with too much. So then I was like, oh well, maybe I can threaten these stones, right? So I was like, okay, let me see if I can threaten these stones. Once he played the Hane, I knew I could, and so I played here. This was really good. This was actually an excellent move. I went through a lot of the variations on this, and it looks like black can't do nothing to this. I'll show you how the game went. so without these 2 stones, I couldn't play this move. If I did, then you know, he would poke down, I would connect, then he would play here, Atari, Atari, and then come out. And so now that I have these stones here, once he does this, his black stones just die, which happened in the real game. I was very pleased. So now black came over here, and this is where he messed up very badly. And I was reviewing my 20, or he's supposedly around like 18 to 16 Q, Romy. He's a good guy. I've seen him play this like, I don't know, 3 times in the last game I reviewed of his. And this shape is so bad in every instance, and I was like, wow, like I can't believe I've seen this shape in my game. Like, this is terrible shape. You know, at a 4Q level I was kind of blown away. Hold on 1 second, I bet that's Romy now. Let me see. There he is. I'm gonna review his game after mine. But anyway, so yeah, he played this, and then I just live unconditionally, right? Now I'm alive, no matter what. And it's what do you call it? Gote, because he has to connect, right? So terrible, 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 terrible. If he played the correct way, he should have played this. Now at least black gets a ko here. And it's, you know, it's a 1-step ko, because if white connects here, black just kills him, right? And so this would have been, you know, at least a fight for ko, and it would have, I think because white comes first, though, he gets the first like ko threat. I don't think there's any ko worth losing for like taking one, you know, almost 1/4 of the board, right? So I don't know. Anyway, it still would have been better to fight the ko than to like end up in gote, right? So try and avoid this shape at all costs, anytime. That's good. I think that's good advice, no matter what, right? And if black came here, if white didn't respond, right? Like let's say white played over here. Now this is a false eye, and it's not in gote. So white would actually have to play here and live in gote, and now at least black has sente, so he can play somewhere else. Does that make sense? This is much longer than I thought it would be. Sorry if I'm like really lectury. I hope it helps like the double-digit Q players, and I hope like the single-digit Q players aren't mad at me. So there's one last shape I wanted to get to. His principles of attacking, I think, were really bad here. He ended up playing this inside peep that just didn't do anything for him except like give me something to attack in my own strong influence. Okay, here's the shape. Here's the shape of the day. In Seth's review on my game, in the 1Q game that I reviewed today, and now today, right now, is when you have these 3 stones, you can't hane. It's happened in 3 of my games in the past 2 days, where I've had 3 stones and then I tried haneing, and then I got punished severely from this cut. Like, it's crazy how you think that, like, you know, after 3 stones you would be okay to hane, but no, it has to be at least 4 apparently. But so this shape has come up a lot, and every single time it's bad for whoever's making it. So in this case, I actually got to learn from my mistakes and punish him for it by cutting. So in the end of the game, I just kill everything, right? So he resigned. This is dead. This is dead. This lived. So yeah, I had a bigger. The only black's points is like here, here, and that's really it. even this can be like attacked and killed very easily, I think. So I don't know, that was really long. Like every game, I'll go back to the beginning and do a quick overview. I won't go over the variations like I did, but I don't know, I'm just wicked excited. Since I've started doing these videos, I've been like, before I would learn something and maybe I'd review it a couple times on the board, but it wasn't enough for me to memorize it. Does that make sense? And so like I wasted a lot of time learning these things and then totally forgetting them and never using them. But now that since I've been making these videos, and thanks to Incente's like ideology of like taking principles and you know, tactical views on this, I don't know how to put it, but the fact is, since I've started doing these videos, and I'm reinforcing what I'm learning a lot, and that's like really cool. That means I'm actually gonna like keep this info and use it in my games, which I have been these past games. So I don't know, I'm probably ranting, but so here was a key point. Black should have played this. If you're going to play this, guys, if you have a stone here in like a full good formation here, this is actually a pretty good Fuseki, which not a lot of people use. In fact, whenever I was playing the Dawn players in my club, this was always considered like Black's formation here. When you hit on top and then you play this is usually considered bad. But it's Fuseki, so I don't think it's really that bad. And personally, I think this is a lot of points for, you know, free. So we'll leave it at that. I think it's a good Fuseki. So this was actually how it was supposed to be played. This is what happened in game. Because he didn't move here, I got to punish him. I think this was a pretty severe punishment. I didn't finish the Fuseki because he kicked me, and then I felt like the spacing was weird. So but since he played here, I probably should have played B or C. I like C because I feel like it puts pressure on this, but we'll move on. I ended up just playing this because I knew this formation very well. So the right move would have been here, and it would have led to a very hard situation for White. White should live, but he would only make 2 points, right? And so this way I made way more than 2 points. But just because he played this move. But this move's very natural, I couldn't blame him. If you don't study this like Fuseki, this is like a very natural move for me. This was a good invasion. He had very good timing here. I didn't know how to react. This was probably wrong, but to be honest, because he didn't capitalize it, it worked out. If I was him, I would have played here to make sure this doesn't become points. But he did not have the right direction, and that A was super bad. Out of teaching everyone here, I don't think I should be teaching this result, considering it's like, you know, it was just desperate, like, and lucky for the most part. I mean, granted, I did read this out once I got to, remember I was showing you the time from like 22 minutes to 18, you know what I mean? So I didn't spend a lot of time reading and thinking about this, but like, my point being was, don't like take this as like a formation to memorize. What I would take though is this shape. You don't want to ever make this stupid shape. It gives you gote. It's just not good. I don't understand why a higher Q player would play it. I mean, at the very least, he could have played here. So then, when I live, he gets Sente, right? But if the better way, in my opinion, is doing the Ko. At least, like, you have a fighting chance of killing this whole group. So I would have done the Ko. Yeah, so he ended up in gote. This is all very basic stuff. Like, I have a wall here, so I want to make territory here, so I build strength. Very, very basic principles. And this is the last formation that it hurt him so bad. Like if he just played here, now it'd be a capturing race, right? Like it would be these stones versus these stones. I think you would still lose the capturing race, but it's better than just dying, right? Like he just dies here, boom, dead. So like what's better, right? So that's it. After this, he ended up resigning, and I think it was a good time to resign. So I hope everyone enjoyed that. Take it easy, everyone.